Welcome, bronies. Today I review the new episode of My Little Pony. This is no kind of blind react, as I promised not to do. But I have never promised to do no review of a new episode. With further ado, my newest project. On second look, Season 6, Episodes 1 and 2, The Crystalling. I start my review with one picture from the opening. This points out one thing. Starlight Glimmer is now a part of the cast and is going to be Twilight's pupil, and follows her into adventure. I take a close look at the place where Starlight is at to the picture. She stands between Applejack and Big Mac. Headcanon time. I hope she doesn't appear in every episode like Twilight in the first season. Before the barely changed opening, Starlight wanders around in the castle, and after an embarrassing moment with a teeth-brushing Spike. Good dragon, he's doing something against his pesky dragon breath. Oh come on, it's just a joke. Okay, let's start again. Starlight says what every brony were saying at the first saw of the Friendship Castle. It looks smaller from the outside. And just mentioned smaller. Twilight, a much smaller count of lessons have to do it. Seriously, what won't you explain to her about friendship? That it is really complicated? Please, start with the basics and let her settle in. Egghead. Okay, then follows a nice little scene with Starlight, who is really willing to deal with the others and is searching for the throne room. A short interaction between the main five and Starlight affiliate, which briefly reminds the characters, and here, this detail shows just Rarity laughing about Spike's famous picture. Now I have to say, this episode handles one thing perfectly. The exposition. The writers have to explain the crystalling for the audience, of course. But with an ancient vase? Alright, Amphora, with geometric crystalline design, classical clothing, and Hellenistic hairstyle, at least for the mare, it sounds beautiful. Ooh, sorry, too much archaeology for you? Back to the pictures. First, is this an alicorn? I see a horn and a hugging wing. For shading. Great. It just confirms this Amphora is a vision from the past. Cadence and shining armor are recognizable, and the third pony, the Crystaller, is Twilight. Awesome! Here the other main six appears. 2 Pegasi, 1 unicorn, and 2 earth ponies. On the right side we see Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, and on the left we can spot Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Applejack. I have to admit that I didn't see this on the first look, but as I looked twice for the review, I find it really delightful. More interaction between Twi and Starlight follow, while the teacher pre-elects the current lesson. Either a voyage to the Crystal Empire to meet Sunburst, or a much greater task, befriend a griffin in the Griffin Kingdom. Or more socially, she could help the Cutie-Mark Crusaders and their attempt to help some pony else. Starlight is not thrilled to meet Sunburst and confesses her past mistakes and ferocity to him. It bothers her so much that she hasn't heard the rest of Twilight's speech. But I've mentioned one thing. Twilight uses the shortage CMC here. Starlight wanders around again and finds a closet. And then Spike, striking in a pose. Spike, okay, he listens, recaps her whole story very quick, and Starlight confirms her fears to tell somebody about her misdoings.
It's figuring out what my first friendship lesson is, and I guess I'm not exactly thrilled with the options. Well, with one of them.
Which one?
Reuniting me with my first friend.
What's so terrible about that?
He tries to cheer her up with a mention of her powerful discoveries and achievements, but Starlight isn't proud of it. Then he says this gem of an advice.
You should talk to Twilight about it. I'm sure she'd want to hear what you have to say.
I know, but I don't want her to think I'm not ready to learn, or that I'm not grateful for everything she's doing. Spike, come close!
A very supporting Spike in an episode. Thank you a lot, Josh Harbour. Now we see the tradition of snowflake invitations for the crystalling, who is delivered by the wind. With a fade out on Starlight, we are arriving the Crystal Empire. Now a little interaction between the friends shows off, and AJ, Rainbow, and Rarity mention their presence. And we get this interesting piece of exposition.
Well, a mobile is real nice, as long as you have something to lay in so you can look at it.
And a fetching blanket to keep you warm. I'm sure Shining Armor and Princess Cadence will love all our gifts, but I think they're more happy we'll be attending the baby's crystalling. I can't wait to see all that light and love make the crystal heart even more sparkly and shiny! Actually, Pinky, the Crystal Heart is an ancient and powerful relic. Without its magic, the Crystal Empire would be lost to the frozen north.
The Crystal Heart protects the Empire from ice and snow. Interesting and confusing too. Yes, Starlight tries to redirect Twilight from her lesson, a fitting lineament for her. Then she admits her worries, and we see a nice callback to amending fences. Wait, what am I doing here? I'm retelling the whole episode, am I? Bugger! This wasn't my plan at all. You all knew the episode already. Alright, let me change the rhythm. I'd like to point out two aspects which concerns me most as a reviewer. Character and scenery, or plot design. We have a simple split plot. First, and more important, a friendship lesson for Starlight, which adds more depth to the character. Seriously, her character is more interesting as I could imagine. By her side stands an unbelievable helpful Spike, who attempts to be a second mentor for her, a really well done addition for the little dragon. Then the action main plot above the Crystal Heart, which are destroyed in the first episode. I'm going to show you a few pictures and shall use short scenes to illustrate my special point of review, and from now on I'm going to observe a time limit. Deal? Deal. 1 minute for Starlight Glimmer. I have to mention it. Her scenes with Sunburst are incredibly good. She drives the plot alone with her sense of guilt, and these worries are very fitting to her character. She tries to sidetrack her little companion with his story of honor. We could feel her disappointment as Sunburst pushed her away for his own self-protection. Her gratitude for Spike feels natural and touching, and I have to say, her character shines for me in this time. Starlight shines in the second episode too, as she manages to bring Sunburst to an emotional outburst and a confession of his own worries. Oh, and she confessed tearfully too. However, this is 1 minute for Starlight, and now follows another minute for Sunburst. Sunburst is an unusual unicorn for me. He hasn't have the raw power like Starlight do, how he showed already in the flashback, but he has a talent for the theory. This is a useful skill, impressive demonstrated in the dramatic climax. He is honored with a position as a crystaller for the Alicorn baby, and Celestia mentions him as a wizard, which he previously denies to be. His character scenes in the second part are priceless. I have to say, Josh shows a talent to fast introduce characterizations for side characters. I'm very curious about 1 minute, alright. No, the K antagonist gets 1 minute again. Flurry Heart. First, this cute little thing is an antagonist? Aye, she triggers everything, bedevils the plot with her timed distractions, and plays tag with the others. Also, her energy beam destroys a precious book, and
What about this? Trotter's Tome of Reliquary?
of relic reconstitution. I can't believe we found it.
It's a good thing, too. Without this, I don't know what we'd do.
This foal raises a lot of problems, but she is so cute! Right, back to the review, and no more cuteness. Enough is enough, and more time I will not dare to spend on her. Instead, I will concentrate my attention on two unicorns, Mr. and Mrs. Sparkle, as mentioned in the credits. Twilight's parents are finally having a speaking role, and I have to say, it pleases me a lot. Thanks again, Yosh. Now, the trio of background pony which everyone admires and makes me personally laugh a lot. A minute for them. First, the brony. Yes, the brony. Seriously, this bottom sealot has a Twilight Sparkle, a Summer Sun celebration, an Apple Family reunion, a Wonderbolts Academy, and a Crystal Heart button? I don't know what he is supposed to be besides a brony. His unshaved face, his emotional overreaction, and the fact that he and the lady besides him are waiting a whole night for the crystalling, and more important, a good view of it, confirms a fandom in Equestria. But character number 3 was it that I celebrate most, and in my teaser trailer review, sadly in the German language only, I saw him and was astonished. Now I have to ask one question. Dusty Cat, are you this fellow pony? This Mustang wears more beard than you. Do something about it. He disputes of the manliest pony award. Brony, I mean. Whereat, no. His elocution sounds more dramatic and eloquent. No, I shan't say you're not sounding eloquent, but... Next point. Plot and scenery. The action plot sounds a little flat, and my real point of view is this resume. An alicorn, baby!
Of course, I could be wrong. The baby is an alicorn?
It looks that way.
But I thought alicorn wings had to be earned by accomplishing some great princess-worthy deed.
Yeah, how can you just be born with them? The birth of an alicorn is something Equestria has never seen.
It is beyond even our understanding.
This isn't the way alicorns come to Equestria usually? And the royal sisters didn't understand why this is happening? Interesting. So many headcanons destroyed in one wink. Thanks, Celestria, not mine. I mean, poor bronies. This foal contains incredible magic power. And she destroys the crystal heart with it. Yes! The first of my predictions is matching. After the breaking heart incident, seriously, an archaeologist should be helpful here. With a little glue and a couple of time, the crystal heart would be as good as new. Where is Daring if she is needed? We're learning something new about the weather. The ponies couldn't control it so far north, and only the magic of the Alicorn sisters are able to fight it and borrow some time. A very good reason for these two not to intervene in the main plot in still. They're helpful in this crisis. The main cast split up. Twilight, Rarity, Shining Armor, and Cadence are searching in the library for a helpful spell and are stumbling over curious books. Bridal Books Boat Chance, Hayhoof's Intoments, Mystic Maps and Mazes, and, of course, Trotter's Tome of Reliquary. These books are sounding familiar to me. Mystic Maps and Mazes. In my role-playing games, I remembered an equal-sounding book. Just a coincidence. Trotter's tomb implies a spell, which could be useful, but Flurry's beam destroys it. I remember the last person who destroys books in Twilight's presence. I'm glad that Flurry isn't handled in the same way. The other three tried to argue with the crowd, but nobody listened. So Shining Armor has to be the leader and sounds in this speech very demanding. After the evacuation of the Crystal Empire is in order, and all citizens are fleeing under the leadership of Shining Armor. I realized now how stupid this sounds. I'm just saying, the evacuation led by a spirited stallion. Mamsel in distress strikes again. Rainbow, on the other hoof, tries to clear the clouds away, but is deep freezing and has to run with the others. Not a great boost for her ego, isn't it? Then the two plots are joining in together in a very good way. Sunburst has found a solution. The theorist comes to the rescue and requites a great honor. I'm loving it. Now the side plot. Or for me personally, the main plot. Sunburst and Starlight is just brilliant. The characters are intensely, the timing is perfect, and the sorrow on both sides are connecting both ponies. First, the audience don't know what's the matter with Sunburst and assume something. Spike is very helpful and friendly, a true friend for Starlight. But there it doesn't end. Spike's character has been enhanced in a great way that he even is a supporter and advisor for Twilight. He reminds her how Princess Celestia taught her, and that she hasn't have to write down every step of a lesson, even to let go, and give Starlight the space for her own mistakes. Now the last step, my summary. I'm not quite certain if my ways to express myself are suited to transmit the sheer joy I feel whenever I'm watching a new episode. In any case, the season opening was different from what I expected, but is showing just the kind of character development I've been hoping for. The continuity, the right touch of drama, and a little bit of action in the right time grips me and sucks me into the story. Without any villain, I feel...
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm not sure. First, very hard is... Oh, this is what you're meaning. The shadow which is moving to the castle. Who is this? Sombra? Or another villain? Or is it just trolling from DHX, like in Castle, Sweet Castle? I'm hoping it reveals very quickly. In fact, it does. The Brony fandom spots out that this is a changeling, actually. Nice, I guess. My points for this episode are 5 points out of 5 for the characters, 3 points out of 5 for the plot, which is, for me, too flat. So, total 4 out of 5 points for the crystalling. Did I miss something? Or my change in the review was odd? Comment, and I will explain. Just for now, I've changed it because I want to show you my own creative process. I'm hopeful you're liking my improved style, and we come together for the next review of mine. On second look, The Gift of Malt Pie. Yours truly, Redhatbrony.